All right, all right. I hope I am coming in clear. I have previously had some audio issues, which I am currently working to fix. So, some of us have seen this here video, okay? And this guy is in court with his landlord, and he is attempting to use consumer law to avoid paying his rent. So, I would like to review and give my thoughts on this video. So let's get into it.
Court does call the case. Peninsula Place versus
Check, check,
is it
check.
Trellis Lane.
Check, check. All right.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fink here on behalf of the plaintiff.
Sir, your name?
Sorry, Judge. Fellas Lane.
Mm.
All right. This is the
Boy.
date for non-jury trial, and this is a non-payment of rent case. How much is the plaintiff claim is owing?
Your Honor, the total balance at this time is $3,320.17 plus court costs of $161.
3,000. I'm sorry. 3,000.
$3,320.17.
All right.
Hey, Your Honor,
Sir, of that amount, is there any that you believe that you owe?
no.
You were going to say something.
I was gonna ask to object what he was about to say as far as about the numbers.
You don't
I was
ask to
saying what I
object, you
was-
just
you already answered the
object.
question. I mean, ask me the question.
Ooh, Lord. He seemed like a nice guy.
And
I
Mr.
can break
Finn,
down that amount if you want me to, Your Honor.
pardon?
I can break down the amount if you'd like me to.
Just one moment. We'll get to that. Sir, can I ask you? I received the documents from you. Is there a reason why you don't think you owe that amount?
Because it's already been paid, Your Honor. Far as
Let me guess, HJR?
reporting adverse information about a co-signer Act 211 of 1989.
Act
Vanessa
211.
Place is trying to held me liable as the co-signer when I have an interest and a signature, and I'm a natural
Let me,
person.
because I have never heard of that Act 211.
Paid, Your Honor.
Owe that amount?
Far as reporting adverse information about a co-signer Act 211 of 1989. Vanessa Place is trying to held me liable as the co-signer when I have an interest and a signature, and I'm a natural person.
Okay.
So they're trying
Okay,
to
so
hold liable.
okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
Just so that I have the background on it. You reside in this unit that's at I think 315B at 1000. You reside there.
Oh, Lord.
That's my place of abode.
Well, you live there,
You,
right?
they gonna play with you, but you really can't play with them. You may have to repeat yourself a few times, but the thing here is when you go into these court hearings, courtrooms, when you go into the car dealership talking about consumer law, you have to be able to know what you're talking about. And not only do you know what you're talking about, you can prove what you're talking about. That's how they know you know what you're talking about. But there are ways to do this. Like, you don't go into a public venue and start spewing all of their stuff at them. Like, I really wouldn't recommend coming out of the W4 groups and going into the public with this information, because obviously, as you can see, this man sounds absolutely crazy. Let's just keep going. It's 40 minutes long, but we're not going to watch this whole video. We are going to get to some really, really, really good parts eventually, so just sit tight.
Depends what you're talking about. I'm acting as a consumer. So, as far as like my, I'm there on special appearance, and my estate stays there. But as far as a natural man, I don't have no place. As far as my estate and my
Okay, so when whoever is in this
he said he
courtroom-
don't have a place.
appearance and my, as far as like my, I'm there on special appearance, and my estate stays there. But as far as a natural man, I don't have no place.
Okay, so he said that his estate stays there at that residence. And him as a man and a natural person, he does not have a place to live, so to speak.
As far as my estate and my,
Okay, so when whoever is in this courtroom leaves here to go to what they would call home, where does this person that's sitting here go?
to my place of abode, Your Honor.
Which is where?
a Plymouth place.
Okay. At the
Let's see,
Correct.
all right. That's what I need to know.
he trying to catch your ass.
Do you have a ledger?
And I'll give Mr. Lane a copy.
I think the judge is experienced. Based off of the questions that he's been asking him, I think the judge is experienced.
Also.
Thank you.
And Mr. Fantera, this would be your witness, is
Yes.
that correct? Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we have her and Mr. Lane sworn in, please?
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, you about to swear in.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Your Honor, could I give you real quick context on that?
Yes, please.
We had a previous case last summer where Mr. Lane received Sarah funds. And when we had I have a copy, I have a case number, I have a copy of the unsigned copy of the COD.
I just want y'all to hear how
That
he's
was
not
entered
paying his
on
bills.
September 9th. SOS paid his rent through September, and it left a small balance of, I think about $119, which we waived. So the balance, even though it doesn't show it on there because we didn't actually get the SOS check till sometime later, his rent at the end of September was $0.
Got it.
So the total balance that's on there is 5 months of rent at $513, water and sewer bills, electric bills. There's not even any late fees, and then there's 161 in court costs. So I just want to clarify that, in fact, none of this goes back past September 30th. In fact, I don't know if you remember, we actually, when we had the previous case, Mr. Lane had sued Peninsular Place seeking the return of all money he paid forever. And he denied that he owed money, but simultaneously applied for Sarah, and he denied he applied for Sarah. You verified with probably Aaron at the time that he had applied for Sarah. He ended up getting Sarah funds. He would not sign the COD, and then you basically gave him a choice. I'll enter the COD, or we'll have a trial and I'll give you a judgment. But it sounds like he's raising some of the same stuff now that he attempted to raise.
Oh, so he tried this before, he said.
Your Honor, free to speak.
Go ahead, sir.
So, Your Honor, when I applied for, so at first I didn't know what I was applying for.
Hmm?
So when I applied for Sarah funding, I ended up giving my principal information, which was my name, my date of birth, and my social security number.
Listen,
Basically, I'm here today saying that I gave my principal to Peninsula Place and I've never received any consideration.
Your Honor, I don't
Oh,
understand
Lord.
what that means. I have a lease
these
here
poor people.
that is between Peninsula Place.
Hold the phone. Hold it. Hold the phone. These poor people, they do not know. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what he is talking about, what laws he's using. Apparently, he don't know what laws he's using either. We'll get to that because towards the middle of the video, the judge will start asking him questions that he cannot answer. Okay, spoiler alert afterwards. The judge will start asking him questions that he can't answer. And I really, really want you to see this because whenever you go in there, you could encounter people who are going to ask you questions that you do not know the answer to. Well, that you may not know the answer to because somebody gave it. Okay? People will give you information. Make sure you fact check and find every source you can to back up those statements. And if you can't find it, go to the original person who told you or gave you that information and say, hey, what code or what law did you find this, and this that you said? Where can I find that? And if they can't tell you and they try to make you pay for something, don't do it. Just stay away from those people.
And Trellis Lane. It's not between the estate of Trellis Lane. It's not with, I think I saw somewhere here something that he recorded with the state of Michigan, certificate of assumed name, TTL LLC.
That's Moorish
The
stuff.
lease is
right
with the
there.
name is with Trellis Lane, who is a person.
And Your Honor, I took control of my name, so that means all interest and consideration will be coming out to me.
What?
Okay, let me. Well,
Interest and consideration. Interest and consideration of what?
I don't know what that means.
I don't
However,
either.
are you Trellis Lane?
Good answer.
That's a yes or no.
Watch how he get his ass.
Because I'll tell you, if you are, then we'll go ahead with the trial. If you're not Trellis Lane, then I'm going to give them a judgment by default because Trellis Lane hasn't shown.
I'm here on special appearance.
No, you can't do that.
You have to know what you are talking about because no, that's not how this works. You have to know what you are talking about. And you have to know how to identify and you have to know how to answer that question if somebody asks it to you.
You are not an attorney at law because you can't appear for somebody else. So my question is, and I'll ask it again, are you Trellis Lane?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes. Sir.
So,
That would be attorney in fact. I'm here on behalf of, okay?
Mr. Lane, October of 2022, did you pay rent to the landlord?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and how did you pay that?
I'm paying with my credits that's on file. So I sent instructions back in May, basically to get my account zero every month.
To do what?
I sent instructions back in May, then I sent another one to December to the CEO.
The CEO of what?
American Campus Communities.
I don't even know what that is.
So he's seen my email, so he's aware of what's going on. Basically, like I say, I'm looking for consideration. I have not been getting no consideration, no adequate consideration.
Well, you get adequate consideration for the contract and any payment by virtue of the fact that you have a residence. So I don't think consideration is even an issue.
Well, Your Honor, I have several questions.
Well, you can go ahead and ask your questions, but I don't know. Let me just ask this. October 2022, how did you pay your rent?
I paid with my endorsed, took the bill, I endorsed it.
Did you give them cash?
We
Sir,
don't have,
We being whom?
I'm saying, it's a credit system, Your Honor.
So what?
It's a credit system. We don't.
So who's in charge of this credit system?
So who's in charge?
Surely.
I mean, we haven't had money since 1933, the Emerson Banking Act.
We being whom?
As
Who are you talking about when you say we haven't had money? Who is we?
far as like the United States haven't had money since 19.
Oh, they definitely have, and I spent my share. So I don't know. You're saying you gave them credit.
Yes.
In what form did you give them credit in the month of October 2022?
Then credit, I took the bill, which they give me a bill every month, which is a statement. I take the statement. If you want to, I can show you what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
I know what he's referring to. Can I show you?
Yeah.
Well, show him, and then
I got copies for him. Here's what he's getting, Your Honor. We have a third-party billing company called Zego. And so what they do is every month they bill the utilities, right? Is pay to the order of Peninsula Place. And so what he's taken, so for example, the top one says pay to the order of Peninsula Place,
yeah.
$662.12. That amount is his monthly rent plus the $123.12 in utilities that are at the top. There's 3 of these that I've attacked. So what he does is he cuts off the bottom
Don't do this.
and he mails that in
Do not do this with your rent.
with instructions to pay to the order of Peninsula Place as if that's a check.
I mean, hey, listen, you can do what you want. You can do what you want. But I can't advise you to do anything. But I personally, I wouldn't dare try this with my rent.
well, have this marked as plaintiff's exhibit and 2.
Some people
The
obviously are
ledger
a little
being
more
one.
bold than I.
Mr.
You know,
Lane,
do it.
you have a copy of what?
Do it. Do it. If you think you in this situation could do a better job than Mr. What's his name there, Trellis, do it. And make sure you get it on record like it is here on this video and show everybody.
What I've marked as plaintiff's exhibit 2.
Oh, he is stressing this
Is
man
what
out.
Mr. Fantera described, is that correct? Is that what you do?
Yes, I'm accepting the credits that's given to me and I'm transferring it back.
Who's giving you this credit?
Who is giving you this credit?
They who?
So Peninsula Place.
I know he ain't say
they're
that.
Basically, so in the beginning when I signed up with Peninsula Place, I gave my principal information. So those payments are supposed to come to me as credit. So
What payments?
the payments that's coming every month. So those payments, they're trying to hold me liable for it, and I'm taking the credits that I'm receiving and dishing it back to them, to Peninsula.
Nobody's.
I have
Who's giving you credit?
You said who's giving me credit?
Yeah.
I have credit, Your Honor. I have a security interest
In what?
in this so-called contract with Peninsula Place.
Okay.
Girl.
But who's giving you credit?
Ooh.
Young man, you keep using these terms, payment, credit, and it seems to me as I'm listening to you that you're using them improperly. So my question is, have you paid anything to the plaintiff in US dollars or anything that evidences US dollars?
Good question. Good question.
No, I haven't paid in US dollars. But
Or anything evidencing US dollars, like a check, credit card, anything like that.
so this is,
No, that's a yes or no.
can you repeat the question,
It's
Your Honor?
definitely a yes or no.
Have you, let me just break it apart so we get it real clear. Have you paid for the months of October 2022, November 2022, December 2022, January 2023, or February of 2023? Have you paid to anything to Peninsular Place in US dollars?
No, Your Honor.
Have you paid anything to them that is evidence of an account which holds US dollars?
Yes, Your Honor.
What? And what account is it attached to? You better be careful about answering my question. Because if you're telling me that you gave them or paid them something that evidences an account that can access US dollars, show it to me.
Hmm?
You said access to US dollars?
Oh,
Right here.
where's my?
What is that? What Mr. Fantera just gave?
Yes,
How does that access US dollars?
because, Your Honor, this account, I'm the holder and I have interest.
Then show me the balance on that account.
They show you the balance?
Yep.
Show me the balance.
Just showed you the balance.
No, you haven't shown me anything. Show me the balance on the account.
Look at him. Look. He know what's up.
If you give
He's like, I know
somebody
you can't tell me
something
nothing.
that evidences that they can access US dollars, then there is a balance on that account in terms of what you're giving them. Much as if somebody gave a check to them, they would be able to show the account for which they can then present that check and receive US dollars.
Please pay attention to the questions he's asking and know that in maybe the worst situations, you will be asked questions like this.
Show me that account, Mr. Lane.
Like I said, Your Honor, I don't know what else you're asking for. This is the.
No, you know exactly what I'm asking for.
You're asking for something that's coming out.
Something that evidences that by that piece of paper that you've given them, that they can access US dollars.
Okay. I don't have any other account besides this, Your Honor.
You don't have any what?
I said I don't have any other evidence besides this right here.
That does not show me that they can access US dollars.
Okay.
Where would they take that to? in
Don't
your
you?
opinion? Where would they take that to access the United States?
This is what I mean. Like, listen, there be people out there. I ain't gonna tell you what to do and what not to do, but those people who should not be up in the courtroom. I know that a lot of these people on YouTube are gonna tell you, go into the courtroom and tell them, I am not the name, I'm the person, and I'm the owner of this account, this birth certificate. And then they start asking you stuff like, okay, well, were you driving? You're like, oh no, I wasn't driving. I was traveling. You sound crazy when you say it out loud in a public venue and people are looking at you who seem to speak regular English, if you know what I mean.
States dollars.
Because we all been there. We have all been there. Like, this type of stuff happens to the best of us, and that's how we are able to grow and continue and make better choices and study harder and get better. And you know, when I personally went through this, when I got out of my courtroom, I called somebody, and it was my mentor at the time. I called my mentor, and he laughed in my face, and he invited me to a Zoom chat with the rest of our little family or whatever. You know, he invited me to a Zoom chat, and they all laughed at me too because it's happened to them too. You know, it's wild out here.
Put it on the ledger.
Where would they take it to access US dollars?
He's giving him a chance. Let me play my music. Hold it.
Okay. So, Your Honor, so I got a question. As far as landlord and tenant relationships, it's sitting here.
I'll try to answer your question as soon as you answer mine.
Okay.
Where would they take it
Mm-hmm.
to access US dollars?
It's like the third time.
Take it and take the check and put it on a ledger with my credit. Because if I owe something, Your Honor, it would be in a negative balance. How can I pay something that's in a positive balance? How can
You don't have a positive balance.
this is
You have given them a piece of paper that you yourself just said is a check. So where would they take that to access your account?
It's like the fifth time he
Yeah.
asked.
Receive US dollars.
honor, they're acting in dishonor. They're taking it and they never said anything about or object to it. So it was off.
Oh, they're objecting now, certainly. Where would they take it, Mr. Lang?
So where would they take it? I mean, as far as they have a security deposit deposition bond. So they have it in a financial institution.
What
He's-
financial
He's regurgitating information.
institution
I'm not.
would they take it to get cash from your check, as you call it, that would then be debited from your account? Where would they take it?
Debited. So what about the credits, Your Honor?
I don't see a credit.
On this paper, it says credit payments and credits.
That's not what it means, to the extent it says that. You have no credit. Where would they take it to get US dollars?
He cannot
Where
answer
would
this.
they take it? They would take it out of my trust, Your Honor.
Out of your trust.
Yes.
Where is this trust located?
We all have a trust in them.
Okay, let's say we all do. I'm not accepting your premise, but let's say we all do. Where is your trust located?
I'm not sure where it's located, Your Honor, but
So if they wanted US dollars for this thing you purport to be a check,
You see that? This is where they start saying, "Oh, do you need a mental evaluation? Because what are you talking about?" You see what she said? This ain't my video. This is somebody else's video. And this is her reaction to the video. You see? That's going to come up. Signing 5150. I don't even know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it relates to 302ing someone into a mental institution.
you can't tell them where to take it.
in the Treasury,
I'm surprised that.
Which treasury?
the Treasury.
Oh,
Oh, so they have to go to the US Treasury with this thing that purports to be a check. Really?
They were pulling from the Treasury. That's why they asked for my
Who
information.
is pulling from the treasury?
Peninsula Place, Your Honor.
So Peninsula Place is pulling from the US Treasury.
I got the account attached to my name with my social and my information.
these are little people. They don't know anything about none of what he is talking about. Nothing.
So they're pulling from the US Treasury because of that?
Say that again?
So because of that, they're pulling from the US Treasury?
I mean, they're charging the account. So this account has my information tied into it, which is showing that it's already prepaid. So what they're trying to do is make me, Peninsula is trying to make me repay.
You've never paid anything, so they're not trying to make you repay. They're trying to make you pay.
So this guy, like, he's really bold, and I applaud him, but don't. He is really bold. I've heard all of this information before, and I've tried to use it myself, and I've come to realize that it's not about what you say; it's about what you can prove, and we hear that all the time.
Anything evidencing U.S. dollars. That's how we're here for 5 months. You haven't done that.
Okay, so in the contract, it says payment, and then specify what type of payment.
I'm asking you, have you paid them in U.S. dollars?
No, payment and credit.
But you have no credit.
Beyond this is evidence.
Hold on.
Okay.
In order to pay in credit, if you will, you must have something that evidences a balance on that credit.
He's teaching us a very valuable lesson. This man is learning a very valuable lesson.
I've already asked you once. Why not? I'll ask you again. Show me something that evidences the credit.
That shows the credit, the birth certificate, and the social security number showing my line of credit that I applied.
So how much is in that line of credit?
You say how much is in the line of credit?
Sure. If you got a line of credit, it's got to have a value. So how much is in it?
Mm.
I believe everybody has $1 billion line.
I didn't ask everybody.
Oh my!
I'm asking how much is in your line of credit?
Well, for what Peninsula Place, whatever.
No, I'm asking you. You're saying that your birth certificate and the Social Security, you have a line of credit. I don't believe that to be the case, but what the heck? Let's ask you, how much is then in your line of credit?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Ooh.
So if you're not sure how much is in there, and you give them this thing that evidences, as you're saying, just take this 1 month of $662.12, you don't know if that can be subtracted from that credit you supposedly have.
I'm believing at least $1 billion worth of credit, Your Honor.
Oh, you have $1 billion worth of credit.
We all have credit.
Well, I'm not worried at this point about anybody else's credit. I'm worried about yours. So you're saying you have $1 billion,
Okay.
but you have nothing that shows me that you have $1 billion worth of credit. Mr. Lane, plaintiff is claiming that you owe them $3,320.17. Tell me every reason why I should not give them a judgment for that.
Protection Act?
What particular provision are you claiming of the Michigan Consumer Protection Act?
I see how he's giving him a chance to find it.
Enter into a consumer transaction in which the consumer waives or purports to waive the right, benefit, or immunity provided by law, unless a waiver clearly stated and the consumer has specified consent to it. I never gave no consent.
What have they asked you to waive?
You said where they asked me to waive
Mm-hmm.
my rights.
To
as a
what?
consumer.
As a consumer of what?
You said a consumer of what?
Yeah.
Of this contract,
What rights did they ask you to waive?
my interest.
What interest?
I have an interest in this so-called contract.
Oh, you do. You also have certain obligations under that contract.
So I have obligations.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like payment.
Okay. According to, like I say, landlord and tenant relationship, pay the landlord for all the rent arranged under this rental agreement. That's basically what I have the security deposit for.
Hmm?
No, your security deposit is not under Michigan law for that reason.
What is for, Your Honor? That's what it says, security deposit permissible uses.
And there is no security deposit under this lease. They do not require a security deposit. It's zero.
Oh my. Excuse me?
Even worse.
Even worse.
Under which
You don't have a security deposit.
Your security deposit's zero.
Oh my God.
You did not pay a security deposit when you moved in. This client does not require a
you
security.
say move in, all this from where?
When you say move
Oh.
in, what do you mean?
You cited the Michigan Consumer Protection Act. There's been no benefit that they've denied you, no interest that they've denied you. So that can't apply. Give me anything else as to why you don't owe this.
Anything else why I don't owe this? I don't understand what
I'm
else.
surprised the
what you're
judge is
looking
being
for.
so patient.
Like I said,
I want you to tell me every reason why I should not say and give them a judgment for this, the $3,320.17 plus their cost.
so Your Honor, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Which part?
You
That
said-
man is tired.
So how is it not like a contract of adhesion that is more beneficial to Peninsula Place?
Which one is he talking about?
I don't know what that meant. Explain what you're trying to say to me.
So it's two parties, and I consider the weaker part. So they wrote this contract, and all in the benefit for them.
Mm.
So where did I have any say so in this contract?
Boy, when you read it,
Well,
you
you
signed
had the big
it.
say so of no. You didn't have
Right.
to sign it.
Okay.
So ain't that false and misleading? It was never no.
No, it's not false and misleading.
It's supposed
They
to be
didn't-
disclosure.
They didn't force you to sign it. You signed it.
So I'm signing. So is this a loan that I'm getting from Peninsula Place?
No, you are not getting a loan from Peninsula Place.
So,
You are renting an apartment.
I think pretty much what he is trying to ask is if I am giving you my name, birthday, social security number, is this a line of credit? Because, the landlords don't have to ask for that information. I'm really not sure why they do ask for your social security number, but your name and birthday, okay. They can do your name and birthday. They can use that for a background check. And I mean, I guess if they want to check your credit, but that's about it. I don't really understand what credit has to do with it. Really, they could just check your employment history, check your pay stubs, see how long you've been working, how much you get paid, how often you get paid, and that's it. They really don't need your social security number. Like my current landlord, he does not have my social security number, and he did not ask for it either. So they don't need that. So I understand the question, but still know how to articulate that.
correct.
In consideration for the use of that apartment, which belongs to Peninsula Place, you're to pay them rent. You haven't for the last 5 months. Actually, you didn't pay it before then because Sarah paid it, but you haven't paid rent for the last 5 months.
Yeah, no, all bills are prepaid.
No, they're not.
This is not a bill.
Okay.
They're like
Your
this.
bill is not
This is not a utility. Rent is not a utility.
prepaid.
Like I said, it's in the positive balance. If I owe anything, it will be in the negative.
That's regurgitated information.
I don't even know what that means because your positive versus negative is different than anybody else I've ever
I wonder who started that. I know where I first heard it, but I wonder who started it.
come across.
You said my positive is
Yes, right now you're in the negative of about $3,320.17.
Your Honor, when I log into my portal, it shows a positive balance. I can't owe something in a positive balance. It's just if I log into my app on my mobile device to look at my bank account, it's in a positive balance.
Your bank account.
Yes, this is a positive balance. If I owe anything, it will be.
So you have the money. So you have $3,320.17.
I'm giving an example.
What's giving an example?
If I owe anything, it would be in the negative.
I don't know what that means. You
So-
don't have a credit on this account. You owe them $33.20.17.
If I don't have a credit, Your Honor, how did they make up an account number with all my information? I had to give them something.
Yeah, you gave them your information. The only thing you haven't done is give them money.
So in other words, you're telling me that I have to repay them, which is already paid.
You never paid it.
Okay.
No matter how many times you keep saying it, you never paid it.
Like I said, Your Honor,
You've never paid anything since October.
I have federal questions.
You have federal questions. Okay, well, you can take those up where they'll hear those. I don't know what federal questions you have because every state question that you attempted to try to raise falls flat on its face. There's no violation of the Michigan Consumer Protection Act. There's no violation of the Truth in Renting Act. You haven't paid anything. You won't show me an account where that even evidences that you have the money. You haven't paid it.
So this account right here doesn't show my name, Your Honor.
You don't have an account. If you're talking about a financial account, you don't have an account. You haven't shown me one. I've asked you for it. Represent payment on this account. And you haven't done so for the last 5 months.
They still going at it.
So, Your Honor, on this ledger, it say payments credit.
Look, I'm not going to sit up there and go back and forth with you on that.
We
I've
can't.
asked you just plain out. Tell me every reason why you don't think you owe this money.
So, Your Honor, I'm a responsible party, and I gave my endorsements. They accepted, and I'm demanding payment.
They say the general idea is to ask questions and try not to answer too many.
Never gave
Is
me
what
payment.
I've heard.
Like I said, I have my birth certificate, I have the social security number showing that I am
Do you have a bank account?
my bank account. What does the bank account have to do with?
Because that's usually how people pay.
I don't have any other reason besides, like I say, Your Honor, it's already prepaid. And they try to make me pay twice, acting in dishonor, accepting and not returning, not saying anything of it. They not accepting. So they've been taking it ever since I started, maybe March last year.
So
Your name is.
I understand the argument, but I don't think maybe this isn't the venue. So once he takes it to an appeal, and we'll see what happens after that.
So the court, having heard the testimony in this case, the
Probably gonna
court would
get
find that plaintiff has sustained their burden of showing.
Objection. Okay.
When I set the date on December 23rd, there was no objection to it. And because you had not requested a jury trial at any given point. So I'm not even going to get into that. You waived that right. Any other reason why you don't think you owe the money that's been testified to, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No. So I guess we are done with that. So I am in the middle of uploading more videos, more consumer readouts. And if there's anything that you would like for me to read out, if you have any requests, just leave a comment on any one of the videos. And if any of those videos are too low in volume, leave a comment. I will re-upload the video in louder volume. And make sure you like and subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram at One Apple Pie. And that's pie with a P-Y-E. All right. I think I'm also on Instagram too. But I be on there yelling at people. So, all right. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed day.